Tonight, Chelsea finally return to European competition as we start off our Europa Conference League campaign with the first leg of our playoffs match versus Swiss opponent Servette FC. Can we gain the advantage here, or will the underdogs be able to pull off a massive upset? Lads, lasses and the rest of the masses, welcome back to The Lead-In. Let's firstly set the scene. It's Chelsea versus Servette, a fixture that from what I can gather has never happened in the history of either of these two clubs. So let's introduce you to our opponents for this match. Servette FC are currently the 5th place team in the Swiss Super League. They finished 3rd last season to qualify for this tournament and were 1 point away from Europa League qualification instead. They also managed to win the Swiss Super Cup, so at least in their respective league they are one of the better teams, and we shouldn't take them too lightly. In fact, they were given another opportunity to qualify for that Europa tournament in a 2-leg affair versus Portuguese side Braga, with them only narrowly losing to send them into this tie versus us, so they are no slouches. Form-wise, they are in a bit of a rocky patch. They won their first 3 league games, but since have lost 3, drawn once, and won once, with them beating Signal FC 7-1 in their previous game. Ahead of the new season, their team hasn't changed much. They've kept most of the star players, and the players they have brought in have been free transfers that seemingly haven't majorly impacted the first team. That being said, let's take a look at the possible lineup for the Servette team and see what we will be up against. Firstly, let's talk absentees. The 17-time Swiss League champs have no reported injuries from what I can gather, and no other exclusions for any other reasons, so we'll be likely facing a strong starting 11. I'll be putting Thomas Heberle's side into a pretty standard 4-2-3-1, but this might end up acting more like a 4-5-1 in game like it did versus Braga. First up in goal though is going to be their number 1 choice and club captain, Jeremy Frick. The defence is going to be unchanged from that last leg versus the Portuguese outfit, so starting with the right back is Japanese native Keigo Tsunemoto. Next to him in the centre-back roles, I'd expect to see the duo of veteran Steve Rouillet and Johan Severha in the right and left centre-back spots respectively. Finally, finishing off this line will be Congolese international Bradley Mazikou. Moving into the midfield, we'll start with the deeper midfielders. On the right side I'm going to be opting for the Cameroonian Gaël Ondua, and his partner in the engine room will be Frenchman David Doulin. Moving into the more advanced midfield roles, this is where I expect there to be change. Let's start on the right, where I'd anticipate Teo Magna would come out in place of former Bosnia and Herzegovina international Miroslav Stevanovic, who's currently their 3rd highest goal scorer. In the centre, I don't expect there to be change, as Alexis Antunes starts once more. Over on the left, I'll be replacing Timothée Cogna, who's played here often, for the very informed Derek Kutesa, their top goal scorer so far, and a player you may have heard of when he was playing for Stade Rennes in France a few years ago. Speaking of recognisable names, finishing off the team in the striker position will be Enzo Crivelli, who is a pretty well-known footballing journeyman, playing for many clubs like Bordeaux, Caen, Saint-Etienne, Antalyaspor, and more recently Başak Şehir. That's just a brief look at what their team could look like. As it's the first leg, I'd expect them to field a strong starting 11 in order to try and gain an advantage to take into the second game. Now let's turn our attention to Chelsea and see what our lineup for this game could be. There are a few absentees for this one, as we've travelled with a rather light squad of 22 players, but the notable absences are Wesley Fofana, whose minutes are being managed, Reece James, who's slowly returning from his hamstring injury, and Marc Cucurella, who may be rested after coming off with a small knee injury against City. Ben Chilwell and Raheem Sterling, who have both been quite rightly exiled from the team, will also not feature of course. Conor Gallagher has finally completed his move to Atletico Madrid, so good luck to the lad and thanks for the service over the years. New signing Joao Felix will also not travel with the squad as he is yet to train with the team. Levi Colwill has been included on the B player list that includes youth players such as Dyer, George and Achempong, so he'll be another notable omission. Lastly, Cesare Casadei, who's recently been reportedly moved up to the first team with Leslie Ugachukwu going out on loan, hasn't travelled with the squad either. Apart from that, everyone is fit and ready to play, so I'll be putting Enzo Maresca's Chelsea team in the 4-3-3 formation once again, and I'm going to be fielding a strong but slightly rotated side due to the lower level of our opposition. Starting with the goalkeeper, I'm going to be putting in Philip Jørgensen. I'd expect him to play in the rotational games anyway, but with Robert Sanchez's less than convincing performance versus City, I think the Dane is a shoo-in for a start here. For the back four, this is going to change a fair amount. As Reece James is still not available, Malo Gusto starts at right back once again. He wasn't the greatest in our last game, but hopefully that was just an anomaly and he can get back to his best here. The The centre-back partnership is going to be fully rotated as both Fofana and Colwill are absent, so Tosin and Benoit Badiashile will start in the right and left centre-back spots respectively, though Axel Disasi could be put in for his first minutes of the season here despite reports of interest from Newcastle. Finally, on the left, I expect the full debut of Renato Veiga, who's looked great anytime he's been on the pitch for us, and will fill in for Cucurella if his injury persists. He's familiar with our opponents, having played them twice in the Swiss League last season for Basel. Moving into the midfield, we'll start with a holding role. Despite how well Lavia has been playing, I'm going to rest him for this one for similar reasons to Fofana, so Moises Caicedo will play here in my opinion. Next to him, I'd expect Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall to start as he did the press conference for this game, with Enzo Fernandez captaining the team from the left-hand side. Ahead of them in the attacking roles, let's start on the right. As he didn't play a single second versus City, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see some involvement for Noni Madueke, who I propose will start here. On the opposite side, I hope that our new number 7, Pedro Neto, will get his first start, with his short cameo at the weekend being pretty positive. Up top will be Mark Guiu. I think this is the competition we will see him used in the most this season, and as Jackson will likely start the next match, I think it's fair to let the young Spaniard lead the line at striker. Now, as I have been doing in these videos, let's touch on a few substitutes I'd like to see Enzo Maresca make in this game. We get to make 5 substitutes in this match, so the 5 players I'd like to see get some involvement are Carney Chukwuemeka, Christopher Nkunku, but not at left wing please, Misha Mudryk, Axel Disasi, and last but not least, Cole Palmer. Apart from that, I think this is a solid team and is more than enough to get a win here against a team that we should almost certainly be beating. So those are my lineups, and I'd love to hear from you guys too. So for today's comment question of the day, answer me this. Who do you think will be our player of the match in this one, and why? Let me know in the comments down below with QOTD at the start as always, and I'll heart my favourite answers. Now let's take a look at how Chelsea can navigate this game tactically, and see how we can beat Servette in this game. Before we go any further, in case you missed it, memberships are now available on the channel. For as low as 99p a month, you can become a member by clicking the join button below the video and unlock access to exclusive perks such as badges, emotes, and my members only Discord where I'll be running my FPL mini league where you can compete to win prizes, as well as watch bonus videos that I can't put here on YouTube, and more. I really hope to create a thriving community in the server, and the money goes directly to supporting me and the channel, so if you're interested, become a member today and join the masses. Now let's get back to the video. So here we have the predicted team that I put out, and I think that we learned some valuable lessons in that last match versus City, and this is the perfect opportunity to right those wrongs against a team that we should by all accounts be comfortably beating. Firstly, let's move the team into what the formation will actually end up with, as us having the 3 centre-backs, as we often do. Obviously, Gusto is going to move up into the midfield, and these 3 are going to shift across. And it's here where I want to address the elephant in the room, and it's Enzo Fernandez's position and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall's position, because this is something that we saw against City that did not work. We saw Enzo playing in this 10 role and pressing very, very high. I have been very vocal about my opinions on the fact that I do not think that Enzo should ever be anywhere near here unless he has players in front of him. So I would imagine with the setup that I have done here, and with Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall likely starting, that he would be the one occupying this 10 role, with Gusto playing in this right centre mid position, Enzo in this left centre mid position, and then obviously Caicedo in the 6. And I think this suits us much, much better, and it's a thing which I asked for, and it's a thing which I kind of expected to happen after we saw it once, and then we never really saw it again. And obviously we kind of saw that Enzo struggled to really create anything in this role. Obviously, as I said, he was pressing very high, which isn't really his strength. And when he moved back into a more reserved role, when Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall eventually came off the bench and actually came into the team into this 10 role, Enzo looked much better, and he created some really, really good chances, which unfortunately don't get credited because they don't actually get met by the men. But there was three clear chances that he made from this deeper position, and yeah, and it's just, this role suits him much more, and we've already spoken about this a lot. Obviously it suits Gusto more being able to play in this centre mid position as well, as he can get up and defend as well. I think that there's going to be a little bit of a different a different situation with Gusto specifically, and I don't think he had the best game last time against City. I think he got kind of ran ragged by Doku when he swapped over to the left-hand side, and he also didn't really provide much going the other way. There's one chance I can remember in particular where there was a golden opportunity for Gusto to cross it straight in for a tap-in, and his cross just hit the first man, and it's very frustrating. But I think that he needs to kind of step up now, and I think he's got the opportunity to do so now because he's in a slightly different role than the one he was in against City. Obviously, when Palmer plays on this right-hand side, Gusto plays really, really wide, and he tries to get around and overlap and create crosses and things like that. When Madueke is here, obviously Madueke is going to hold this width, and he's going to be the one that's going up against his fullback and actually trying to drive into the box and opening up this position, which allows Gusto to move into these kind of positions just outside the box, where he can actually play deep balls into the back post for Neto arriving, or KDH arriving, or even Guiu, who's made a front run in that way. And I think that suits him a little bit more, where he can actually get the space in this midfield to kind of do that. And also, not only that, but then combine with Madueke, who is also running in behind. Now, speaking of those wide areas, I think that these are mightily important for this game in particular. I think that isolating the fullbacks 1v1 against our wingers is going to be something that we really, really need to do. And not only that, but getting our wingers into the box and into these types of areas, so we can actually play the ball across and create opportunities, I think is going to be key for breaking down this team and this low block that we're probably going to see from them. From what I've personally watched of Servette, one of their weaknesses is that defensively, they put a lot of their focus onto the man that's on the ball and not too much on the players that are actually running in behind, or they don't really track the runners very well, especially third man runs or things, or mostly runners from deep, from the midfield areas. We see a lot of the time when, for example, say if Enzo was on the ball here, a lot of the players would press Enzo and they would completely forget about Neto running in behind, or Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall making that late run, or Guiu making a run in behind. And they do this with the kind of theory that if they close down really quickly, then Enzo's not going to be able to make the pass. But obviously we know we have very, very good players, especially like Enzo, who will be able to make those passes under the pressure. And I don't think that's going to work very well for Servette, in truth. And it's part of the reason why I think that Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall in this 10 role is going to have a lot of success against this team, because he's going to be the spare man that's not picked up. And I think, honestly, at times we're probably going to see, with obviously how pushed up Gusto and Enzo can get, we're going to actually see Guiu and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall acting almost like a 2 here, where if we can pen them back into their box and we can have a lot of possession, a lot of the ball, we're going to constantly see Kiernan cropping up not only on this wing trying to support Neto, but getting into the box in advanced areas, trying to get cutbacks for Guiu or Madueke or whoever is arriving at that back post. Now let's talk about Servette a bit, because the reason they are poor at what I was talking about, and the reason why they're poor at tracking their runners, is because they are very high energy, they are very aggressive, they do love to press, especially high up the pitch too, not just as their defensive way of defending with a counter press, but up the pitch too. They do enjoy pressing quite high. And this may play into our hands if we are able to pass our way out from the back, like we struggled to do against City. But this is the thing which I think that kind of aids us, is if we just put these here, for example. They have these, they'll have the midfielders in here, but the wide players will come in to kind of press the centre backs, I'd imagine. And see, usually this would be like against a team like City, for example, we struggled really, really badly with this. But I think with Enzo dropping deeper and not being up here, this can actually aid us. And it's what I said in my City preview, is that I thought that this system and the way that we play the system with the 3 centre mids, obviously Gusto being an auxiliary centre mid here, I felt like it would be easier for us to play out. But then obviously we didn't really see that happen because Enzo was here all the time, and we kind of just went back to having the 2, and it was kind of not really successful. We got pressured by City and we couldn't really play our way out very often. Obviously when we saw Enzo drop deeper in the second half, we actually got to see this a bit more, and we could actually play out. And against a team that is very, very aggressive, as I said, very high energy, very good at pressing from the front and trying to get on to the opposition, that I think that their press is not going to be smart enough in terms of the quality of the players that they have to actually be able to stop us from passing straight through them. And I think that that's probably how we're going to create our opportunities in this game, is from them pressing up too high, us playing that killer pass in behind through the lines, turning, and then on the quote-unquote transition, even though we're in possession, the transitional attack, getting goals this way by going through Enzo or going through Gusto. It's interesting that I actually bring up transitions though, because that's one thing that Servette are actually really good at from what I've seen in my research of when I've been watching them, is that they are very good at counter-attacking, and not only counter-attacking but counter-attacking down the wings specifically. They are really good at, like as I said, with that counter press, winning the ball back high up the pitch when the opposition have the ball, taking the ball off them here and then springing counters to the wide areas and going this way and trying to put balls into the box. They are very good at doing this, and they did this quite a lot against Braga. In fact, I said this, that I said in the start of this episode that they were kind of unlucky to not actually get through that. They obviously only lost by 1 goal, but they scored a late goal, and again that late goal was on the transition. But in general, that game and both of the games, they were very threatening against Braga, who by all accounts are a more dangerous team than Servette are, and I think that they will kind of thrive under the idea of, hey, we're playing a bigger team, and they kind of arrive to the occasion. And hopefully that won't happen here, and hopefully, as I said, I assume that we'll be able to smother them with our possession and kind of actually just keep a hold of the ball a bit more than we were obviously allowed to do against City, because obviously City are such a good team. I think that we will have opportunities to smother them, but they will be trying their best to counter press us, to win the ball, to break on us. And we've seen from the past that we have a kind of a history of conceding from transitions. We saw it against Inter, we saw it against Celtic, we saw it against Wrexham. So far, we have not shown a very good resilience to those counter-attacking moves, and we've kind of been broken down by them. So hopefully we don't have that same issue in this one, and we can actually kind of put our authority down a little bit more, like we did against Club America. Now, I often say that for small teams, that set pieces are really important, and that's kind of the way that I've always kind of spoken about set pieces for small teams, but specifically for Servette as well. I think that Bernardo Cueva is going to have his work cut out for him in this one, not only because, again, small teams always try and focus on their set pieces, but Servette have got a long thrower in their team. They do like to throw the ball into the box from these areas out wide, and we need to be avoiding making not only silly fouls in and around the area. Like I always say, I hate it when we give away silly fouls in and around the area, because we know how often we can have conceded from set pieces. Obviously, that's probably going to be less so this season with Bernardo Cueva coming in, but last season especially, we were awful at conceding chances from set pieces. They do have, especially from the right hand side, a very competent thrower from that side, and if we do give away cheap throw-ins as well, they could punish us with a ball into the box. So we'll have to obviously be mindful of that and just try and, again, I think it's a matter of if we can control the ball, keep them from being able to put their foot on the ball at all, we can kind of control this game. Obviously, they're going to press us high, and what they will probably force us to do, and we'll try and do, is, for example, when we have it on these wide areas with Vega, with Tosin, they will see us out here and they will press us to the point where we have to play either straight down the line and give it back to them, or just play it out for a throw. And once they get the ball out for a throw here, they're going to be more dangerous from those long throws. I think that for the most part, if we employ our game plan a bit more than they can apply theirs, and our counter press is actually better than theirs, and we can keep winning the ball back when they do try and transition against us, and keep smothering them and keep putting that pressure on them, we will be able to create numerous chances in this game and quite comfortably beat them. We need to remember that this game is at Stamford Bridge, and we've already seen early on how toxic our own fans can be towards the team so far, so we kind of have to get ahead in this game, I believe, and get that momentum going, because I feel like if they do get a cheeky counter-attack or something and we concede early, I could tell that this game would probably turn on its head and it could be quite ugly. So I think that the main thing that we kind of need to do in this game is not underestimate Servette. Obviously, they're a lower league side, they're not as good as us in terms of the individuals, but they are a good team. Obviously, they are a winning team. They've won the Swiss Cup last season. They know how to win things, they know how to progress in tournaments too. So we have to be really careful. We can't be thinking that we're gonna steamroll straight through this team and go on to the next game. We have to be on our A game, as we always do, but on our A game, be a professional team here, be very conscious of the threat that they do present on the counter and in general. And just treat this like it's another league game in truth. Obviously, it's going to be a late kickoff under the lights at Stamford Bridge, but we need to imagine that this is just another league game and put in a very professional performance here. For a score prediction, I'm going to be predicting a pretty routine victory for Chelsea. I'm going for a 4-1 result, with Pedro Neto, Guiu and KDH sharing the goals. I do expect the opposition to score late on the transition, so I'm going to predict that Kutesa scores for our opposition. We'll have to wait until the game to see if any of my predictions are correct, and as always, I'll be live streaming immediately after the game with Feeling Blue to review the match, so make sure you come through if you are able. But if you can't wait until then, YouTube reckons you'll enjoy one of these 2 videos on screen in the meantime. Thank you guys so much for watching as ever, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues!